Hello everyone, this is Gregor. Welcome to the stream, and today we'll be doing a bit more Invincible. I actually meant to do the stream this morning when I was on leave from work, so I instead kind of spent the entire day playing hide and seek with a roach, and I'm actually very really terrified of them. So it wasn't great, honestly. I ended up wasting my entire day just cleaning the house inside out. I didn't end up finding it, and if you see me stealing glances to the left and right, that's probably because I'm still subconsciously expecting it to appear. I hate those things. I hate them so much. I'm borderline phobia of. So that's why I didn't stream. I did get to finish Greece on off stream, and that kind of gave me the letter G for the off stream challenge. You can see the Nightbot link that just fired off. Yeah, this is the final bits of the Invincible. Hopefully we've got 5 achievements to go. All 5 of them
Boulders are blocking the way.
well,
so even if I turn the force field off, we still can't proceed.
It's mostly just getting to the Condor. Oh, hello.
Even if I find a way, I'll have to continue without the rover.
Good. It got stuck for a moment there. I don't know why.
Oh wait, a transporter. They're here.
They're dead.
It's standing still, in front of the force field.
Is that Milos convoy?
I'll confirm. There's someone inside.
I'm just rushing. I get the impression that this stream is probably gonna end a lot sooner than
I'm going in.
last time.
Well,
Which is why I was planning on doing it this morning, so that now in the evening I could probably start something else.
No one here.
But
They must be in the back.
yeah. Thank you to all the god-awful things that exist on this planet, and me being terrified of probably the least dangerous of them.
It's on.
Yeah, I know it's irrational, honestly. I'm much aware.
Not exactly.
Door.
The inner door is still locked, and the outer door is just shut. I repeat, now all doors... Wait!
No, it's opening, and... Yep. Body horror.
No.
Yep.
I
mean, this was a lot more... what's the word? This was a lot more effective the first time around. And this is kind of the problem with these games having multiple endings and having to replay them multiple times. In theory, you play these games once, you get whichever ending you get, and for you that's kind of the
These few steps I've walked my entire life.
the canon, I guess, ending, or the canon path.
They died in such a gruesome way.
But if you either care for achievements, or if you are curious enough to want to see how other paths play out, that's kind of the problem with all of these games, is that for repeat playthroughs they're really
That strikes me,
I don't know, inefficient is the word, impotent maybe, not impotent, but they lose a lot of their
far too long. Far too long not to receive
their
help
umph,
from friends.
their their emotional impact.
I'm afraid there's not a
Right.
soul here on this damned planet.
It loses a lot of its impact
Three in the
if
cave.
you're playing it for a second time.
I'm listening.
So yeah, basically these are games that
No
I
way. I'm not
I
going
used to
back
describe as penalizing those that are curious to see all the content.
there. That I can do.
Hello. Talk to you inside. This is Rohit.
There we go.
Much better.
So I used to say that they're penalizing players that are not naturally curious to see multiple endings or like multiple scenario that like play out in these games. But like in later years, I've kind of like figured like, you know, most people don't really care about that. They're just gonna like do one playthrough of the game, maybe like launch it again like a couple of years later to check it out again because it was like a nice game, and that was about it. And for those people, I guess it. Oh, right.
Astrogator, Rahitra is firing off flares.
For
He
those
doesn't
people, I
realise yet
guess
that
it
no one else can
provides
see
one
them.
of those like water
Except me.
cooler
If I don't snap him out of
like
this damn
discussion
world,
moments, I guess.
he'll keep doing it until
Where
he dies.
like
Goes insane.
I used to have this
Tragedy of this man.
when I was like a kid. Like we'd play games
One more life.
with friends.
Three
And
more lives.
Then when we like get together, you would kind of like get like all these discussions of, oh, I found so and so, or like for example with like Pokemon, like, oh, in my version there's like this exclusive like Pokemon. Oh my god, I don't
found
believe
a
it. In
direct
mine there's
route.
that, and
I'll be
you know,
in the
or
hell soon.
you know, you got the sense that like everyone was discovering different things, and then you'd get together and kind of like share experiences, I guess, which is, you know, I guess this is like the modern equivalent of that. Like I can easily imagine someone just like getting together with a friend and be like, oh, you know, I played the Invincible last week, and oh my god, what an ass Rohitra is. And then you get like the other person be like, what do you mean an ass? He was like so and so, because he's like a sympathetic character. if you don't like escape the Alliance base, but pick like all the correct dialogue. So yeah, I guess for those people this is kind of like the equivalent, but it kind of sucks that for like replayability purposes and like for achievement purposes, there isn't really like a great way of doing this, is there? Right? Because, you know, like
Okay, buddy.
there's like only so many ways you
Where are
can
you
like
hiding?
set up a game without making like
He's near.
all the scenario bespoke, like, you know, to be like fully 100% different to one another, at least like in story focused games.
Yasta.
Because like in like what I'm talking about nowadays is more prevalent in stuff like
I don't wanna sit
roguelikes
down.
and roguelites, which I guess is like another reason for like their like huge popularity, is that you can get like entire playthroughs that are like radically different to one another, depending on like class, loadout, like the RNG giving you specific things or like taking away other things. Yeah, it kind of depends.
At least-
But like for story games, unfortunately, like you can see this in like the Telltale games as well. Those are like the ones that like kind of
Hate to interrupt, but we have
brought it into the mainstream,
Right now.
right?
yes.
Like the whole like choices matter. I mean, it
Copy
existed
that.
before,
Is that
right?
one of yours?
But
What does he want?
Telltale
It's our
with like The
Astrogator.
Walking Dead
He's warning
and
us of the
like
approaching
Wolf
cloud.
Among Us
Quick,
and
Get us to the hideout.
God, what was it? Like Sam and Max wasn't like
Now, move.
Can he get through the
Sam
force
and
field?
Max was
Hey,
a lot
hey.
more linear, but
What are you
it was
trying
like the
to
same
do?
episodic
I'm
format, I
done
guess.
waiting.
But
There's
anyway,
no need to anymore. There's no one left to look for. All that's left is
but
revenge.
yeah, like those games and like
Astrogator.
Until
I think he
Dawn,
wants
later
to
by
fight.
Supermassive or Supergiant, I don't remember.
Stop him
What?
somehow. It'll cause trouble for both of you.
Supermassive,
I don't think
I
so.
think, are the
He's
ones that
already
did
up in the
Until
field.
Dawn, and Supergiant are the ones that did Bastion, and then Transistor and Pyre and like a few others.
Hey, Yasna.
Um, God, like I'm
What's
trying
this?
to remember.
You forgot.
So yeah, like, you know,
I'll take care of it.
story games seldom like have
When you
replayability,
aim, wait for the
which I mean is fine. Like most stories aren't.
take the shot.
Most stories don't become memorable if you play them multiple times, except
Okay.
in
sounds
like very
simple.
rare cases. There is like one exception to that, and that exception is visual novel style games,
Hey,
and specifically
over.
the ones I'm thinking about are like the Zero Escape
Copy that.
games, because in those games the replayability is kind of like baked into like the narrative, and
I don't
like,
see
you know,
it.
they're like
Soon it'll be within reach of
um,
the gun.
they're like disguising it as like time travel or like conscious traveling or whatever, and you know, in those games, they're set up in such a way
Affirmative.
where
I see it.
replaying previous bits but with latter game knowledge actually like recontextualizes a lot of what's happening. Like I think especially like Zero Time Dilemma, like the last one in the
Damn
series,
flies. Later, Rahitra. Later.
did this like a lot more like
What?
intuitively,
Why not
where there's like stuff that
100?
you do like at the start of the game and then you kind of like come back and redo them at the very end, and they give you like a totally different kind of like viewpoint of it or like different context of it, if that makes sense. But yeah, in those cases it's kind of like baked into like the mechanics and the narrative, so you know there's like limited ways you can do that, like it's like either like shifting to like a different dimension or like time travel, or you know like having this whole like economy built on knowledge, like lore knowledge and like mechanics knowledge, that's kind of like doing that, like the heavy lifting to, I guess, like facilitate
Got some. Did it help?
the replayability. But yeah, in like narrative games like these, like The Invincible, and I mean there's like others. I can't really remember right now because most of the time when I play this after the second playthrough, it kind of like all becomes like a bit numb to me. It's this exact problem. Like you
What
get
is
to a
it?
point where you're
What should
kind
I
of going
do?
through the motions for 90% of the
Tell me
game
where to shoot.
until you get to the bit that is gonna be like the different path from what you've already seen the first time around, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, why am I even like
Don't tell me you're starting to
like
regret this,
discussing
Rahitra.
this here is
can't
because
believe you dragged me
like at the
into
start of the
this.
stream I was kind of like, oh yeah, I guess we're gonna see
That's
this
what you
bit,
think.
but for the third or
I'm not
fourth
the only one
time.
who's giving up. The field is too. And you're not so optimistic yourself.
You know, it's kind of like a limitation of the structure, and like I don't like specifically discount this as a like what's like the opposite of benefit. Like I don't put on like the minus column of the game, but it's just like something that for me personally is not something that I like in games. Mainly because I generally have like this curiosity built in. I couldn't even
The field
tell
keeps
you
shrinking.
why
something
exactly
about it,
it
will
is
you?
that like I enjoy doing this, but
Rahitra,
I really
are you
like.
there? What's going on with you?
He left. Oh,
Fuck.
he's gone.
You've got to be kidding. Stay in touch, yeah? Good one.
But yeah, like I wouldn't even like be able to like tell you why exactly this is like a thing that I do,
Where
but
are you?
if I play game, I'd much rather like see everything in the game, especially if it's like a game that I like Invincible. And yeah, by the way, even with like all the replayability, which is like the bane of my existence normally. I think this is gonna get marked as like a 9 out of 10 at least. It might even have been like a full 10. I don't know. Depends on how like interesting the endings are that I'm doing this time around, like the final few endings. But yeah, I just don't get like a sense of closure unless I've seen like a decent chunk of like the game's content.
We can't stay here anymore. It's too
for like story games, this includes
But
like
where?
all the like relevant main story paths. Maybe I don't care about like
You
the
don't actually expect anyone on the
um,
ship to have survived.
you know
Do you?
like optional branches or like bad endings, but it's kind of like a thing that I've
In
had
order
for like a
to-
lot of time. Maybe
Arsenal of our flagship at our disposal.
maybe it has something to do. Okay, why doesn't it let me climb on?
We'll send
Come
the
on.
Cyclops out to fight.
Cyclops.
Um,
That's a code
come
name
on.
for.
It's more of a moniker for an 80-ton machine with firepower exceeding
Oh
all
my god,
estimates
can I
combined.
just get it going?
Used in these conditions of hibernation,
But yeah,
incubation,
I
low
suspect
extraction
the
temperature.
reason for
The force
that
field, it floats several feet
mindset
above the ground.
is
Wait.
mostly me having
Haven't
been
you
brought up
had
on like a
enough?
very limited like
It might be time
budget,
to
I
hide
guess.
and consider other
Like,
options.
I think this is like true for everyone. Like when we were kids, you didn't have like these like gigantic backlogs and like
I
you
see you're
weren't
not gonna listen to
specifically
me
spoiled
either.
for choice, right?
Because there's nothing to
Like
talk about.
you'd get like a game,
I'll give you
and
a simple choice, Yasna.
whether it was good or bad
Are you
was
going
irrelevant.
or
You were
not?
kind of stuck with
Go
it
where
for
there
like
could
a
be
period
water,
of months, if
medicine,
not like years.
resources, or stay here to die.
Like when my
Wow,
very first like
such a
gaming
hard
system.
choice.
Well, I mean,
hope I won't regret it. Too bad you didn't mention
my
earlier
very
that
first
you had
console was like a
working
Game Boy.
saucer. We
It was
could
like a
fly to
portable, like the
Condor right away.
like the old like
Or even
gray
into orbit.
bricks with like the
Working is a
burgundy
big word.
buttons
It's
basically.
just a tin can
And
with a couple of
I
sputtering
had like
engines.
one game with that, and that
Controlling it
was what was it? Like the
technically
very
doesn't
first game
work.
that I had was I think oh yeah, sorry. So the
Somehow
first
it
game that I
does not
had
surprise
was
me. Let's fly.
what was it?
Just a
It was
minute.
like Donkey Kong
Waiting
Land.
for the
Came in like a
force field to
yellow
shut down.
cartridge. I don't have it
It should
anymore.
be
Like
soon.
someone like stole it off of me, like a friend. It's like surprisingly common in around these parts. But yeah, I remember getting like I think it was like 101% on like the save file because there was like this one like extra thing that you could find like a coin or something that you could find that
Hold on,
was counted in completion even though it wasn't necessary for like 100% of the game.
He's not here.
Ritra,
And yeah, that game basically lasted me for 6 months. So it wasn't like I had
How do you
anything
know
else
this?
to play. I didn't have options. I didn't know any people that owned the Game Boy at the
Then
time,
he
so I couldn't
noticed
like,
I wasn't
you know,
responding.
trade
yes, he did.
games with
He said
them
he'd
to
be
like
back.
get something fresh to play. And then like the
He
second game I
expected
got
me
was
to
like
wait
Power
here.
Rangers based on
He's
the
sorely
movie,
mistaken.
which was such a shitty game. It was all different kinds of crap, honestly. It was not a good
To be
side-scrolling
expected
beat
that
'em
we'll
up.
lose communications
It,
as
it
soon
had
as
like
we
weird
can't
mechanics that
relate.
were like
Sure
very
thing.
indecipherable.
So
I had to
many
refer
tons of
to the
steel.
manual, I remember,
Indeed,
many
you'll have
times,
to establish
just
a
to like
connection
figure out
using
what the
one of
fuck was
devices
going on.
the ship. I'm sure you'll find one in the command bridge.
I'll find that radio.
But
No worries.
that one lasted me for another 3 or 4 months, and again, I got really good at it because I didn't have anything else to play. And
So
I think
that's
that like
marvel
for
of
I don't
military
know if it's like
technology.
I don't want to generalize
Rachel
this because
wastes
like I
their
understand
time.
like people have like different
Is it attacking already?
For now, he's only released the Cyclops, as they call it.
The hell is he thinking?
It's floating majestically, 3 meters above the ground.
majestic. Oh, there was like a dialogue here that I
What does
missed.
it look like? Must admit that I haven't seen any pictures of the Cyclops.
It's big. Bigger than a transporter.
So I don't really
Its
want like
launches
generalize,
are
but
hidden
I
for
feel
now.
like some,
But for some
if not a
reason,
lot of people my
One more
age
thing, Yasna.
have like the
This is
exact
important.
same
I'll be
kind
able
of
to
like
confirm it in a while, but
mode
so
of
far
thinking about
everything
games,
indicates
mainly like
What is
kind of like
Astrogator?
hammered into them because
headquarters
of
were right about the
well, like the
Invincible
scarcity that we
flying
kind of like
here.
grew
If
up
I'm reading
in.
the message
And yeah, like I
correctly,
realized like talking about
Only in
like
a few
game
days,
scarcity is like
looking for the missing Condor.
Everything makes sense
it's like
now.
as
They were coming
first
to rescue
world
their people
problem as
from
you
the
get.
very beginning.
But I mean, it is what it is.
Not to
Like
gain some
I'm not
imaginary
like
advantage
complaining
over
about it. I'm
us.
just like trying to
One
psychoanalyze
doesn't
myself,
exclude the
I
other,
guess.
but yes. Turns out it's mostly about the Condor.
Can I please? Why doesn't it let me? You know what? Doesn't matter. So let's see. At the bottom of the condor before heading to the bridge, make sure to collect the syringe from the med bay on the first floor. That's the that's for some of the endings that we'll be seeing today, I hope.
I'm bored.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, I guess, the reason why. And I mean, like, you can also kind of like point to like, God, like, I grew up at a time where like the only mode of progress in some games was high scores, not even like levels. Like there were games that didn't have like 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 levels or whatever.
But you won't need this anymore.
There was just, you know, score. It was like one level, one location, one thing to do, and keep doing it and see how high the score can go. There's like a kind of like a side tangent, I guess. Wait, does it let me?
Well, let's go up.
Wait, no.
Next stop, Rahitra.
Oh. Wait, hold on. Wasn't I supposed to go to like the medical deck first?
Okay. Not quite at the bridge yet.
Oh, there we go.
But I'm getting closer. Much closer, Rahitra.
Okay, we need the syringe. This says med bay. In here. But yeah, like on a side tangent, like
Must be the
I
medical
feel
wing.
like a lot of people growing up with like, you know, high scores being like the main like progression metric, I guess.
Everything's still
Is
running.
why we get like a lot of people being like hyper
What's
competitive
Rahitra here?
in my age bracket. Where's I remember finding the syringe, by the way, last time too. Just like trying to remember where exactly it was. Yeah. No, this is like the
Different sections.
card.
Different elevator cards.
Yeah, that's for the
They really overdo it with the security measures around here.
bridge.
I guess I still have some time to look around. Someone tried to eat soap.
Yeah. It's like mint soap. Ugh. I don't like mint. I hate mint. It's like one of the worst possible flavors to like give me. The soap space. Where is the syringe?
Is that why the flies didn't wipe out all of my memory? Because I fell into a natural stupor.
Yeah.
Makes some sense, I guess.
Oh, there's like a card here too. I mean, like it looks like it's impossible to not get a
So apparently there's hope. We
card.
can... No. Wait. The memories won't come back.
It's like on the other
So
side.
much for the hope.
Oh, where's the? And again, like I mentioned, oh, there's like a syringe, but I guess it's not the one that I need to pick up.
He couldn't get out.
Oh, there we go.
This soporific could be useful.
Soporific.
Although I prefer not to have to use
This is like
it.
a knockout
Rachel must
juice,
have
I
given her
guess.
something to calm him down. As he did in the hideout.
Yeah, it's like time to go back now. Target. Ah, no. Gonna have to do the long way around. Ugh. Go up to the bridge.
So, you made it. Quicker than I thought. Let me invite you to the bridge, I suppose.
Were you deliberately trying to slow me down?
I didn't design these elevators, if that's what you're asking.
No, that's not it. You can clearly control them, but... Never mind.
Dirac field, ready to activate. Oh, you came after all.
Yeah,
Now
well,
that you're here,
this
why
is
don't you
like
help me?
With
this
what?
part we're gonna sit through another couple of times.
I do have
Sadly,
visuals from the Cyclops here, but I can't do everything on my own. Oh, wait. Activity's increasing. They're coming. Are you helping or not? Come on, Yasna. It's about to start. I can't wait any longer.
No. You're on your own. I'm gonna call my commander.
Fine, suit yourself. Just don't disturb me.
Where can I find...
yeah, like I can find. Come on.
Condor over.
There we
Astrogator
go.
Novik speaking.
Astro...
I'm kind of curious though. Why is it only that specific dialogue is? Wait, did he? Wait, did he fire it off?
Rahitra? What's going on?
I don't understand.
Oh,
It's
the
going so well.
Is it over now?
Colossus or whatever it's called.
It got so many of
Killed
It's
over.
gone completely mad. Now it's wandering around aimlessly.
Sounds familiar. They look... enraged.
Yeah,
Can you
pissed off
really?
like hell.
Can you really
Listen.
tell?
I connected with my astrogator. We need to talk about what's next.
We'll leave it like this. I guarantee you.
Rahitra, your men are on their way here. On the Invincible.
I've heard that before.
Turns out it was true all along. They're flying here. Do you hear me? We'll sort everything out.
So Horpak is flying here with company? What an honor. And when will they
Horpak.
arrive?
Wait, what?
We anticipate they'll arrive in a few days.
A few days. That's a lot of time.
I realize. We'll come back to that. Let me go back to the radio. I'll return soon. I'm back.
Wait,
A com-
oh, this is like playing out a bit
Didn't expect
differently.
me to succeed, did you? Yes.
When will...
See. Yasna, I have the impression. I don't know exactly.
Oh, see, I was right.
Okay. I'm switching you to the bridge.
Oh,
Should
did
be
I
able to hear you now.
mess? It's kind of interesting. I think I messed it up by not like flicking it up. But on the other side, I'm kind of like impressed, I guess, that the game does track whether you've done it or not. There's like different dialogue.
Could you stop with all these? Rohitra, Engineer Rohitra. Among our crew, I'm the last man standing, so to speak, which I guess makes me commander.
Yay!
Who would've thought?
Official request to join our forces. danger that threatens both sides.
Oh, enough, Novik. That's enough. I agree, officially and all that jazz. We're already taking steps to eliminate the threat. So far, however, your crew has not been cooperative. Anyway, we stopped playing defense and took the fight to them.
Wait, I've
Cloud
not been
suffered
cooperative? What the
significant
fuck?
losses.
Playing
Excuse
defense
me?
sounds a lot better than we're getting our asses kicked.
Wasn't I the one like what got stuck outside shooting at the fucking things?
Fighting against the Cloud is exceptionally difficult, but any opponent can be defeated. All it takes is the right tool.
Meaning what exactly?
Nukes.
Let me remind you that we're dealing with a dispersed entity. Technological prowess is still unknown.
By the way, if you keep like a close eye on them, they like the cloud does get like bigger and bigger the more like time passes. Actually, no, not the more time passes, like the more that like the conversation progresses.
Only pure energy.
You still haven't answered me there, Trav.
It's a nuke. I mean, come on.
Just tell me straight. What do you want?
I'm arming the charges.
Arming what? Explosives plus munitions?
Hydrogen.
What?
Whoa!
Are you serious?
Damn right. I won't leave all this unresolved.
How many warheads do you have?
54. 30 kilos to 100 megatons.
Oh,
Yep.
that's quite an arsenal.
We really do have enough power.
To crack the planet in half.
How about the damage you could rid the planet?
Yep. Thank you. I said this last time
I'm
too.
not an idiot. I won't
Yes,
send
you are.
everything at once. I'm preparing 8 smaller warheads to start with.
And then?
We'll see.
Are you sure this is a good idea, Rahitra?
Listen, Yasna, I know how it must look to you. A hot-headed guy from the Alliance who wants to use nukes. But put yourself in my shoes. I have 24 hours tops of complete situational awareness. I'm taking action here and now based on my best judgment. I don't know what will happen later. Where will I wake up? In what condition? So I'm going to avenge my people before that happens and ensure the safety of those who survived. They all deserve better than this.
Come on
I know
then.
you understand. You like me. You would do anything for your crew.
Look, I understand how you feel. But you can't approach this problem in terms of revenge.
Uh-huh.
We are dealing with
And we like
creations
the-
of necro-evolution.
The cool-headed
Dead
ones.
evolution, or probably non-sentient ones. Taking revenge on the Cloud is like...
Whipping the ocean for sinking the ship?
Yep. Thank you.
Exactly. Like Xerxes. We won't gain anything from a
It's
mindless
like,
attack.
oh, thank you,
On the other hand,
navigator fairy in the
Knowledge
sky.
about these creations may turn out to be crucial in helping their victims. In helping you, Rahitra.
My memory, you could...
It's possible.
Well, thank you.
So, by the way, this is
I
only
haven't done
like
anything.
referenced
Reminded me of my mom. But as long as the Cloud is a threat to others, my
if you've like
condition comes
examined
second.
specific like research in the God, what's it called? In the med bay.
Oh, good one. Are you forgetting how many of us they've already killed?
Yeah. Whatever.
Still, I can't help feeling that they operate without any strategic plan. They attack from one incident to another. They're non-sentient, as the doctor put it.
Okay, we
So
need
what,
to
you're stupid?
discuss about
That's why they can't be
necrovolution
hostile?
here by
It's
the looks of it.
absolute Nonsense.
Well, it could be. Yes, sir. What do you think?
They're not stupid or hostile, but rather programmed to react to radio waves, to brain waves.
How?
They're breaking down communications to thwart the
It's still,
exchange
like,
of
growing.
information.
There's like another one over there too. Jeez.
They see no difference between a man
Like more.
and taking our brains for transmitters. That's why they're attacking us?
Exactly.
Wait, what species are you talking about?
Dr. Yastin found various traces of conflict, lasting for hundreds of thousands.
The list is long. No need to discuss it now. Just
Both
trust me.
living
Trust me, bro.
organisms and mechanical creators of the Cloud, as well as
You'd be surprised at
products
like
of
how much
dead
of like
evolution.
narrative mechanics
The list
work
is
by
quite long.
just the
Hang on.
trust me, bro.
Creators?
Yes. Millions of
School
years
of
ago,
thinking.
someone must have built primordial mechanisms. Machines could have self-built in successive generations. But something must have created them first.
Oh, it's that like that bit in Prometheus that totally wasn't aliens, but it was aliens.
We've gathered evidence for this.
Yep.
How did these machines even get here?
I don't
Who
know.
built them?
Probably some alien race, highly evolved. It all adds up if we assume they crashed on Regis 3.
I like
But not even
the
a
like the
single living
shading,
organism
like the
survived the
shader that they're
accident. Only
using
machines were
for like the
left.
hair.
And then what? They started bashing in each other's tin heads?
Yep.
Doesn't make much sense to me. Machines don't have
Yep,
emotion.
necroevolution.
First things first. Millions of years ago, some highly advanced race sent machines to Regis 3.
And we're gonna have to
these
listen
were
to this like 3
specialized
times, I think,
homeostatic
for like all the
mechanisms,
achievements.
left with no
Phew.
one to command them. As an engineer, you know well how it is. A robot does what it needs to do, whether it serves someone or not. At first, they probably just repaired themselves, or built a home for their dead masters.
Until something forced them to change.
Exactly.
Our arrival.
Certain types of predator eat anything that moves. So I'm betting they were attacked by local fauna. The key was that these machines had the ability to produce others as needed. To combat, say, flying reptiles, they started producing flying machines.
That still doesn't explain why they started fighting among themselves. Since they already defeated the living organisms,
What is a guiding principle of a homeostat?
Oh boy.
To survive.
I'm like here like
Apparently, the
educating
machines pose a
everyone
threat
and
to one
myself.
another. They use the same source of energy to function.
All I had to do is
common,
like follow fucking
finite
list.
resource.
okay, but why did some flies survive this? Not something bigger, better.
The way I see it, they were better. The best. In necroevolution, the bots that used up the fewest resources won. So they miniaturized, or became sedentary. The former process gave rise to the cloud. The latter started this bizarre genre of metal structures, resembling vegetation, which formed the city.
And they're still growing?
No.
Yep.
They lost the
Oh,
fight
I mean,
for
nope.
survival, and now they're just rusting remnants. Only one form survived. The flying microbots that conquered all land areas on Regis 3.
So these flies were just the best.
Oh,
adapted.
I'm
To the conditions
like
of this planet.
joking here,
Yes,
but is that
that's
why
how it
like all the
works.
other like
So,
life forms that they found were
To
like all
summarize,
underwater
Some alien race sent
like
advanced robots to Regis 3.
stuff?
Local dinosaur-like monsters tried to eat them, so the robots produced other robots, which produced more and more
Oh
robots.
boy,
until they fell victim to their own
oversimplification.
After a number of iterations and wars for resources, they spat out the murderous cloud, which took over the planet.
Indeed.
Yep.
To put it simply,
For me, the matter is perfectly clear. Makes no sense to bomb these creatures.
I agree.
I would even say it's a greater danger to us than to them.
But how else do you imagine defeating the cloud?
Well, that's the thing. I don't. It's invincible.
Hey, we got the title. By the way, that's not the title.
Well,
I fully
Yeah.
agree. We shouldn't attack.
I very much agree. Another attack would make no difference. Just a few flies are enough for the cloud to regenerate.
what if we destroy their nests?
No, Ritra. Unless we want to destroy the entire planet, it's impossible to eliminate them all. And even then, there's no guarantee they would die in space. After all, the flies need no air, water, or food, only solar energy.
But what else could we do, if not attack?
We can leave this place and never come back.
How so? Your commander will swoop down from orbit and pick us up? Or do you have an extra ship up your sleeve?
I'm afraid none of this.
I mean, the Invincible
I
is
was
coming.
thinking about a saucer, or some other vehicle from the Condor.
Don't count on it, Yasna. It's a miracle we arrived on
Yeah,
that saucer.
in the course of this game, we more or less fucked up anything that's functional in Regis
You're
3.
armed. One more press of a button.
No,
turn
don't
back.
do it.
I can't.
Yep,
That was close.
Yep.
Suspending all actions leading to conflict.
yep.
What
Good,
should I
good
do
thing.
now?
Hey, Yasna convinced Rohitra to stop further attacks on the cloud.
I can't help you. Believe me, I've
Where's
got
the-
nothing better.
Did you get the pop-up for the...
Let's send
Hold on. You get the pop-up for the like the achievement thingy? Yes, I'm not sure that you did. Was this like a it's like a way to send like a test notification? Not. Oh. Okay. That was weird. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of like flashing, but not doing anything. Huh. Why? And like its opacity is all there. How about now? Nope. Yeah, for whatever reason, working. I mean, like the pop-up is working just fine. Give me just a moment. But the problem. Stream notification. Achievement stats overlay. Yeah, that's weird. Very weird. But no. Yeah, it still doesn't work. Like I'll just like delete it because like
Message to the
you
Invincible.
can still
A short report on
see
status of
the
crew.
pop-ups in this game. Like
And
this is
on
like
our
one of those games that does
discoveries.
allow
You should also introduce
the
yourself to
overlay
members
to
of the
come
Hive.
up. So
Better not to hide it, as it will only arouse
yeah.
suspicion.
Don't worry about that, Novik. It's up to me to make sure they understand everything.
Yeah, but your
Now,
memory is shot.
Let me check on the guys. I want to make sure they're stable. I hope we'll speak again, Astrogator.
Until then, Rahitra.
I'll join you soon.
No hurry, Yasna. Take your time.
Oh,
So, he's gone.
he's still here.
Doctor.
What do you mean he's gone?
Yes, no. It was truly an honor. I'm having a hard time finding the right words.
I have one last request.
I'm listening.
I'd like Koval and Krauter to remember me, even just from your stories.
Of course. I'll let everyone know what you did for them.
No. I don't care about gratitude. I just want them to know who I was. I am.
Right. I will try to do justice in capturing your extraordinary character. Although I must admit, it's not an easy assignment.
As always. I'm not making anything easier for you, Novik.
Blah 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 blah.
As always, yes.
Have a safe journey.
Thank you, and take care.
What a useless piece of shit you turned out to be. But at least in this path, in the other path, he's like a lot more useful. He actually gets to extract you in one of the other paths.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You look...
Like shit. I know.
really tired. That's what I meant to say.
Because you're trying to be polite.
It looks like very different, like this.
I look and feel like shit.
I mean, I am playing on like low graphics, so
Of course.
you do. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
support and stimulants will help you.
I won't sleep. I can't. You know that. I have to endure somehow.
It won't get to that. Because I'll tell you everything all over again.
And he'll act like he wants to kill us all over again.
I know me all too well. I won't believe the cloud can't be defeated. Or help you convince the Invincible's crew you're innocent. You'll end up in custody, and they'll just repeat our mistakes. It's a strange feeling. Remaining conscious in the hibernator.
You clearly haven't visited the infirmary often. This is a standard procedure for a long recovery.
Will you take another look at Landor and Spluskas?
Yeah, whatever. Dead. Dead.
Doing it now. Don't worry.
Also dead. It's like,
You're still wondering whether to go to the nest.
yeah, what? Oh yeah, there's like this, like how you.
Probably your last chance.
When did I wonder if I wanted to
Before
go
the
to the
Invincible
nest?
arrives,
I don't remember this coming up at any point.
to have you here. When they come.
No, I'm not going. I know it's a unique opportunity to get closer to this phenomenon, and I might never get another chance. But I've thought about it a lot, and I'd rather stay here with you. Now rest. You should save your strength
But yeah,
for
this
their
will give
arrival.
us another giant, by the way. Few days later. Wait, can I maybe like check if he's still awake? I'm like very curious. Yep.
Too heavy, hands become.
Okay.
Down you go, oh bright sun. Night is not that scary.
It's like the fucking creepiest thing in this game so far, honestly.
At last, they've arrived.
Oi, jerk! They're awake.
Rahitra, do you hear?
He's dead.
They're landing now.
He's dead. He's asleep. He's what?
Rahitra?
Who are you? The end. Well, I guess this is considered like a bad ending. And now we get to redo the final bits of the game yet again. Like that whole discussion about actually, I don't know. Does it start me
We
back in the
anticipate they'll arrive in a few days.
A few days? That's a lot of time for me.
I
Yeah.
realize. We'll come back to that. Let me
damn
go
it.
back to.
Come on, yay, blah 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 blah. Again, I'm not really sure why it only lets you skip specific dialogues and not like all of them.
You should
Like
be
I'd
able to
assume
hear
some of
now.
them are tied behind loading scenes or something, but
Hello, Condor.
I don't know. Is it possible that it's like all like that many?
I repeat, this is Astrogator Novik for the crew of the USCA Condor cruiser. Please come in.
Like why can't I skip this one?
Could you stop
Right?
with all these?
Is it because there's like
Rohitra,
3 people involved?
Engineer
I don't know.
Rohitra. Among our crew, I'm the last man standing. so
There's like
to
3
speak,
more to
which
go.
I guess makes me commander.
The next one is Innate Curiosity,
Thought.
which is basically for doing the exact same thing that we've been doing. Talk about Necroevolution, talk about not firing on the cloud,
Enough. I agree.
and
Officially,
then
all
just
that
deciding
jazz.
at the
We're
very
already
end
taking
to
steps to
fuck
eliminate
off and leave Rohit
So far,
trapped in the
however, your
hibernation
crew has
chamber
not been
and
cooperative.
going off to
We stopped playing
find
defense
the
and took the fight to them.
the cloud's nest, I guess.
Significant losses.
Playing defense sounds a lot better than we're getting our asses kicked.
Dr. Not now, please.
No,
Shut
it's
up.
true. Fighting against the
Shut
cloud
up!
is
Don't.
exceptionally
Don't make him
Any
angrier.
opponent can be defeated. All it takes is the right tool.
Meaning what exactly? Let me remind you that we're dealing with a...
It took me like 45 minutes to like play through the entire thing, but I mean, at the end here, like the last 3 achievements are really.
That's why I'll keep it simple this time. No electro brains, no memory, only pure energy.
You still haven't answered me, Hitra.
Pure energy.
What do you want?
I'm arming the charges.
Army what? Explosives?
Nukes. I mean, come on, like we've been through this like 5
What?
times so far.
Rehitra,
No.
are you serious?
Damn right. I won't leave all this unresolved.
How many warheads do you have?
50
Plenty.
from 30 kilos to 100 megatons.
Quite enough.
Just like split the planet in half.
Say.
I'm preparing 8 smaller warheads.
Yeah, come on.
to
Brr.
start with.
And then?
Are you sure this is a good idea, Rehitra?
It kind of ruins like the tension here if I'm just like running laps around the like I guess command deck is the word.
Of complete
Hup,
situation
hup, hup, hup,
awareness.
hup, 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 hup. Hup, hup, hup.
Where will I wake up? In what condition? So I'm going to avenge my people before that happens.
Hup, 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 hup.
Deserve better than this.
Yeah,
I know
whatever.
you understand. You're like me. You would do anything.
Look, I understand how you feel. This kind
She
of approach is
said
problem in
on
terms
her
of
4th
revenge.
lap around
We are dealing
the
with creations of
elevator shaft, I
necro-evolution.
guess?
Dead evolution. Probably non-sentient ones.
and this is why you don't let
Revenge on the
your
crowd is
player
like-
have full control of their character during dramatic story moments.
Exactly. Like Xerxes. We won't gain
Because
anything
they
from a
might
mindless
decide to
attack.
do dumb shit like
On
what
the
I'm
other
doing at the
hand,
moment.
Knowledge about these creations may turn out to be crucial in helping their victims.
Oh god, I have
In
to like
helping
sit
you,
through the whole
Rachel.
neck revolution thing again.
You could.
It's possible.
Thank you.
What for? I haven't done anything.
But as long as the cloud is a
Should I
threat
just like
to
make
others,
a your
my
mama
condition
joke
comes second.
without meaning to?
You, Hitra, are still reasoning as though we were standing face to face with a thinking opponent. What if these beings are not our enemy at all?
I think this would also be like a good time to like
Good
figure out what
one.
I'm gonna
Are
be
you
doing for
forgetting
letter
how
I
many of
off
us they've already
stream.
killed?
I'm not exactly sure yet, cause like I finished Greece today. If you were around at the time, I started that 3 years ago, I think, like 2021,
They're not stupid or
2022.
hostile, but
I don't remember
rather
what
programmed to
year was it
react
that I did the
radio waves,
like
to
the
brain
themed
waves.
months around like
How?
specific
They're
countries?
breaking
Because
down
like that was like
communications
Greece was like
to
one of the games that I
thwart
did for the
exchange of
Brazilian month.
information.
So
But I never really got back to like get like all the collectibles and stuff, so
they take our
that's
brains for
kind of what I did
That's
this
why they're
afternoon
attacking us.
after I was kind of like
Exactly.
done panicking about
Wait,
the roach
what
being
species
in
are
my
you talking
house.
Dr. Yasser found various traces of conflict.
Both living organisms and mechanical creators of
But
the
yeah,
cloud,
it
as
turned out
well
to
as
be like a
other
couple of
products
hours
dead
long to just like go
evolution.
back and wrap up like all the
Then this is
collectibles that I
quite
missed the
long.
first time around.
Hang on.
That was nice.
Creators?
That was,
Yes.
you know,
Millions
interesting.
of years ago, someone must have built primordial
Plus, I had
mechanisms.
forgotten how pretty
Machines
that
could have
game
self-built
looks.
in successive
And
generations. But something
it's been a
must
long,
have
long time
created
since
them
I last did
first.
this, but I did end up taking screenshots, and I even have one of
It's like
them as
some
my
robot fables.
desktop background.
These are the fables.
Yeah.
Gathered evidence for this.
How did these machines even get here? Who built them?
Probably some alien
Ancients.
race, highly evolved. It all adds
Have,
up.
have
if we
you
assume
have you
they
never
crashed
played
on
Mass
Regis III.
Effect,
But
Rohitra?
not even a single living organism survived the accident. Only machines were left.
And then what? They started bashing each other.
It's like a very interesting thing,
Doesn't
like
make much sense to
in
me.
sci-fi.
Machines don't have emotion. They don't.
generally you get like
First things first.
what's it called, like though, like
Millions of years
all
ago,
that like
some
jazz
highly
about,
advanced race sent
you know,
machines to Regis
precursor
3,
legacy.
And these were specialized
like-
homeostatic mechanisms.
No, precursor legacy is
left
like
with
the
no one
Jack and
to
Daxter
command them.
game.
As an engineer,
But like
Kinho well hired it.
precursor like
a robot does what it needs
species
to do,
having
whether it serves someone
like
or not.
reached
At first,
pinnacle of
They probably just repaired
technological
themselves
advancement and then just like
or built a home
fucking
for
off
their
for whatever
dead
reason, either
masters.
like getting extinct or nuking themselves
Exactly.
to death or
Certain
being
types of
eaten by
predator eat
giant
anything
mechanical
that
space
moves.
squids. I don't
So
know.
I'm betting they were attacked by local fauna. The key was that these machines
Like a
had
very
the
common
ability
thing
to
in
produce others as needed.
sci-fi. I don't know
To combat,
why.
say, flying reptiles, they
Maybe
started
it's because you
producing
can't really
flying
have like a Deus Ex
machines.
Machina like any other way, because I mean ostensibly in like a, at least hard sci-fi
What is a guiding
settings,
principle of a
you can't
homeostat?
really have like God
To
or like a
survive,
god
Apparently, the machines
swoop
pose a
down and
threat
get
to
like
one
the
another.
plot
They
moving.
use the same source of energy
So
to function.
I
A
guess
common,
you
finite
have
resource.
to shift
Okay,
that
why
like
did some
advancement,
flies
I
survive
guess,
this? Not something
into
bigger,
something
better.
that
The
makes
way I
more
see
like
it,
scientific
They
sense,
were
like
better,
there being like
the
a
best.
previous
In
civilization
Necroevolution,
or
the bots that used up the
a
fewest
race of
resources
aliens, I guess,
won.
that
So
like
they miniaturized,
wave their
or
like
became
sufficiently
sedentary.
advanced
The former process
technology
gave
that
rise to the
equals
cloud.
magic
The latter
once
started
around
this
and made
bizarre
things the way they
genre
are.
of metal
I don't know.
structures resembling
Oh, I really
vegetation,
wish you could skip
which
this
formed the
dialogue.
city.
There's only so much like faux
lost
philosophy
the
that I
fight
can
for
like put
survival,
out on
and
stream
now
at any
they're
given
just
time.
rusting remnants.
I think
Only
I'm
one
running out of
thing
shit to
survived.
say,
The
or
flying
like bullshit
microbes
to say, I
that
guess.
conquered
Depends.
all land areas on Regis 3.
So these flies were just
I could talk about
best
what I'm
at
playing recently, and
the conditions of
again,
this
in
planet.
no one's interest
Yes,
whatsoever. But
that's
like,
how it works.
you know, I think it
So,
beats like listening to this dialogue like 3 times.
some
Also, need a
alien
haircut
race sent advanced robots to Regis 3.
in here.
Local
Yay.
dinosaur-like monsters tried to
But yeah,
kill
I've kind of like been
robots.
trying to like get back into the whole JRPG mindset,
production.
and
number of
I
iterations.
decided to start myself off with something that's like slightly shorter than the
Indeed.
average JRPG,
put it
though that
simply.
turned out to be a mistake for other reasons. And I started playing The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky, FC, which I think starts for first chapter. Now, this game is actually getting a total remake.
Yeah. I very much agree. Another attack would
Next,
make no
wait,
difference.
like next
Just a
year or
few
like
flies are
late
enough for the
this
cloud to
year,
regenerate.
and like they're redoing the entire
No,
first
Rachel,
game of
unless we want to
the
destroy the
franchise, I
entire
guess.
It's
Or like the
impossible to
sub-franchise, because
eliminate them
Legend
all.
of Heroes has
And
like
even
other
then,
like
there's no
older games, but like
guarantee they would die in
the whole
space.
Trails in the Sky
After all, the
series of
flies
3
need
games kind of
nowhere,
like kicked
water,
off
or food,
a specific
only
sub-series of
solar
Legend of
energy.
Heroes.
But
Interesting,
what else
if you
could
want
we
to read
do
it on
if
Wikipedia,
not
you
attack?
probably like get
we can leave this place and
a
never
much
come
better
back.
what's
so?
the word,
Commander will swoop down from orbit and pick us up.
summary
Or do you have
of
an
what I
extra
can
ship
put.
up your sleeve?
But yeah, I started that one. It's
I was
rather
thinking about
short. I
Saucer,
think you can
or
like
some
be
other
done with the
vehicle from
entire
the
thing in
Congo.
like
Don't count on it,
45
Yasta.
to 50
It's a
hours
miracle
with
we're
like
not
doing all the
Nazis.
achievements. But that's kind of like the problem. I didn't check the achievements before starting it.
Warheads are armed. One more press of the button.
Um,
There'll be no turning back.
you need. It's one of those JRPGs that does a thing that I fucking hate, and that's forcing you to find
I'm
all
suspending
the chests
actions
in the
in
game
conflict.
to get an achievement. And in this case, it's like doubly worse because you don't just need to get like all the chests. You need to
Let's send a
re-examine them
message to the
after they're
Invincible.
empty to get the
A
little
short
funny
report on the
blurb
status
that
of the crew.
comes like,
And on
oh, this chest is empty. What did you expect? You just looted it. And like each one apparently has like a bespoke like like
Don't worry about
blurb
that, Novik.
that comes up
It's
when
up to me
you
to make sure
try
they
to loot it
understand.
a second time. So
Check on the guys.
yeah, that's kind of the problem. I'm doing good time and I am enjoying it,
I'll join
but
you
I
soon.
do still have to check through a guide constantly to make sure I haven't missed any of like the
So,
50 different fucking things
gone.
that are missable in that game. Now, there is like a new game plus that carries all progress, but
It was truly an
fuck
honor.
playing one JRPG twice over just for like not getting
A hard
the
time finding the right
chests,
words.
you know.
I hate moments like this.
It's the exact same
When
thing that
nothing
Final
can be
Fantasy
done.
9 did, and I
Fixed.
hated it for it.
Changed.
It's the exact same thing that
All you can do is
Octopath
say
Traveler
goodbye.
does that made me stop playing
I
it
feel the same
basically,
way.
because that's like also like
Have a
a
safe
lot
journey,
longer than
Navik.
Trails in the
Copy
Sky.
that. And
But yeah, like
thank you for your service.
at least I really like Trails in the Sky, the first one. It's got like this cool like light version of Final Fantasy VII's materia system, in which you kind of like slot.
Yeah.
You look.
Well, they're called like
really tired.
what are they called?
That's what I meant to
Orbment?
say.
No, Orbment is
Because you're
the
trying to be
set
polite.
piece. I don't remember what the materia is called.
Will you close it for me?
Quartz. It's
Of
called
course.
quartz. So you slot like these like bits of quartz in your characters, I guess,
Support and stimulate.
and each one gives you specific buffs, and like depending on like the rarity, each one gives you like a specific number of charges, I guess, on like one of the game's 6 elements. So
situation won't get any
like
better
depending on
if
like
sleep
which elements and
deprivation
how many of
kills
them
you.
you have on each character,
Stimulants should
they
only be
unlock
taken
different
in
spells.
exceptional
It's-
circumstances.
it's very reminiscent
Not
of
every
what
day.
Golden Sun did
An
with the
exceptional
Jinn.
situation.
Except in that case, you change your character's class by mixing and matching different types of like the 4 different elemental types of Jinn.
It's a strange feeling.
But in this case, like for example, if you've got like a quartz that gives you 3 wind, and then you've got another quartz that gives you 3 time
You clearly
element,
haven't visited the
those
infirmary
having
often.
3 wind 3 time gives
This
you
is a
like a
standard
like level
procedure
1
for long
AoE
recovery.
wind thing, and also like because you have at least 1 wind, you get like the first level single target AoE like wind attack, and
I'm doing it
it's
now.
kind of
Don't
like
worry.
that. It's an interesting system, and it's also combined with like a very basic like positioning grid.
Probably the last chance.
It's not like the Final Fantasy games where like you stand in like a row and the enemy stands in like a row, and maybe there's like a front row and a back row, but that's about it. Okay, I decided to go. Yep. And so that's like for the second ending called Innate Curiosity.
I've been thinking about it for a while.
Um,
And it's
But
something
yeah,
I just have to
in
do.
this one you've got like
I
a
might
grid
be
of
the
like
only
6 by
person
10, I
who
think,
can
on
make
each side,
contact
and characters can
to-
like more or less move
understand.
on
I know.
any of those spots.
Come back.
And because like a lot of
I
the
intend to.
attacks and spells have like specific range and specific targeting requirements, it's kind of neat. It doesn't what's the word, it doesn't force you to move all that much, but at points you can kind of like get slightly better results by pushing enemies into like your teammates' upcoming AoE attacks, or just like moving out of enemies' AoE attacks. Although I haven't found any particular enemy that's like hard hitting enough that I actually need to sacrifice a turn to move. So it's like I said, it's like a very light combat system. It's also like really like it flows really fast. And one thing that the game has that I need all JRPGs to have, all fucking JRPGs to have, is fast forward. The game has up to 16 times fast forward, both for combat and movement in like exploration. You get to the fuck? Why is that a face? And hey, we got Innate Curiosity. I want to see like how this ends though. Honestly. Yeah, that's it. Fade to black. Oh, nice. So now we get to redo what I just did another 2 times for the last 2 achievements. Thankfully for these 2, I don't have to explain Necro Evolution anymore. Which is why we've left them for last. Yay! So let's see, it's like Violent Solution and the... sorry? Yeah. A Strong Objection and the Invincible. Oh, yeah. So strong
We anticipate
objection.
they'll arrive in a few days.
Yeah.
A few days.
So basically,
That's
strong
a lot of
objection
time.
means I do this
I
whole thing, but
realize.
I don't do the like
come
the
back
whole
to
like
that.
neck revolution thing. We just like go, oh, it doesn't matter, and then just like tell him, no, don't nuke them, and then we basically spike
To succeed, did you?
Rohitra's neck, basically.
Maybe that's
Shouldn't be more than like maybe like another 20 minutes
Okay,
to
okay.
like redo a lot of this again.
Hello, Condor. This is Astrogator Novik, commander of the IC Dragonfly ship.
But yeah, that's like one fucking thing that I need more JRPGs to do. Bravely Default did the same thing, at least like the 3DS one, like the first one. I don't know if like Bravely Second and
Rohitra, engineer
whatever, like I
Rohitra.
think Bravely
Among our
Default
crew,
2
I'm
is like the third
last
one.
man standing, so to speak, which
Yeah,
I
that's not
guess makes me
confusing.
commander.
I don't know if those like kept the fast forward aspect of it, but like I know Bravely Default did that, and now I know that like Trails in the Sky FC does it.
Danger that threatens both
So basically, as you play the game, you can like press like the right trigger, and that like
All
speeds
that
up
jazz.
both the
We're already
combat
taking steps to eliminate
and
the
like
threat.
the out of
So
combat
far, however,
bits.
your crew
And the
has
cool thing
not
is, like
made
through the
it.
options, you can actually
Anyway,
choose
we
how
stopped
fast
playing
each aspect of
defense
that goes.
and took the
So
fight to the
currently, I've got like 16
Cloud
times
suffered
for
significant losses. As a
16 times
counterattack,
speed up for like the
it
combat,
disrupted
because
our
it
communications. That's why
it's
we need to
optional and it
change
helps when
tactics.
you're like grinding stuff out without having to, you know, sit like through all the animations all the time just to like kill off enemies
I strongly
20
disagree
times
with
to
that.
grind for
Politics is
materials,
the
right?
tool.
And I've got it like at like 2 or 3 times the speed for like outward exploration, which does help cut down the distances a little bit.
and it has so far destabilized every machine.
And I really wish more JRPGs would do
That's why I'll
this,
keep it simple this time.
especially for the
Electro
combat.
brains,
Like for the exploration, I can kind of
only
get
pure
not
energy.
wanting to have it, but for the fucking combat, it needs to be like an industry standard.
What? A
It
nuclear weapon?
Really
Seriously?
needs to be an industry standard because
Leave all this unresolved.
it's such a
54,
it's such a
30
fucking
kilos to
uh,
100 megatons.
convenience.
Quite enough.
Like
Over the top, I'd say.
imagine like all the times you like kind of like walk back and forward in like a single area for like an hour
start
to get
with.
like random encounter after random
We'll see.
encounter after random encounter after random encounter, just like grind out money or just like grind out materials for crafting,
Huh.
or
So much for our groundbreaking
damn, even
cooperation.
just to like try and get like a specific enemy to spawn. Imagine if you could just like fast forward those bits. Now I know
Save it, Novik. I
Final
don't need a
Fantasy
lecture. This is my
8
ship and my people.
and
it's my
maybe I
goddamn
think
duty to avenge
9
them,
had
period.
that for like the
Yasna,
re-releases
you like me.
of
I would do anything
the
for your crew.
Not only do I understand you, I feel the same
of
desire.
the what's
but-
it called,
Revenge is out of the
um,
question.
of the like the PC version like re-releases. There's like
Why?
these like
We are dealing
boosters
with creations
that
of
Square
Necro
Enix kind of like
evolution.
included, and
Dead
that
evolution,
includes like maxing
who
out your
probably
your
non-sentient
money and
ones.
maxing out your
Taking
like
revenge on the cloud is like
your AP in
Exactly.
9 and
Like Xerxes.
your
While
magic
we
stacks in
express
8.
our
I think
suffering,
7 may
rage,
have
and
had them, just like
frustration,
give yourself
we
like
won't
fully mastered
accomplish
material for
much.
like across the
we
board.
won't harm it.
But I think
we
it's like
won't
in 8 and 9
instill fear in it.
specifically, there's also like
We
a fast
won't make it
forward
surrender.
button.
I'm going
It
to
kind of like
destroy it, Yasna.
emulates the
Not
game at like 2
Exterminate
times or
every
like 3 times the
last
speed. I don't
piece
remember exactly. But yeah, that's kind of, you know, cool. That's, you know, more JRPGs should have this. It's optional. It's a convenience. It doesn't mess with the game's balance in any way. It just gives you an optional way to cut out the bullshit animations that you have to watch 20 bajillion times from start to end.
They're non-sentient, as the doctor put it.
So what, they're stupid? And that's why they can't be hostile?
What are you, stupid?
Nonsense.
I mean, come on. Yeah. Move on.
They're not stupid or hostile, but rather programmed to react to radio waves, to brain waves.
How?
They're breaking down
Blah,
communications
blah, blah,
to thwart
blah,
the exchange
blah,
of information.
Blah, blah, blah.
So,
Yes, no, they see. Blah.
they take our
God,
brains for
this is-
transmitters. That's why they're
Like I said,
attacking?
this is the problem
Exactly.
when wanting to see all
Wait.
the content.
What species are you talking?
Having to replay this.
Both living organisms and mechanical creators of the cloud, as well as
So
other
what do we
products
think?
of
We're at
dead
like 1 hour and
evolution.
11 minutes. Are we gonna be
The
done
list is
by
quite
1
long.
hour and
Hang on.
50 minutes maybe?
Creators?
Will it take
Yes.
like 20 minutes to sit through
Millions
this
of years
discussion
ago,
like
someone must
another
have built primordial mechanisms.
1.5 time? I mean we're
Machines
like
could have
halfway through now.
self-built in
There's like
successive
another half time here,
generations.
another like
But
one full
something
time
must have
next
created
time.
them first.
I don't buy it. It's like some robot fables.
No, Rachel, these are no fables. We have gathered evidence for all this.
Oh, get it over with.
Who built
Probably some alien race.
Where did you
highly
come
evolved.
from? There you
It
go.
all adds up if we assume they crashed on Regis 3. But not even a single living organism
God,
survived the accident. Only machines were left.
Yeah, this is gonna be a 9.
bashing at each other?
Mostly because
Doesn't
I'm
make much sense to
grading
me.
these
Machines don't have
on
emotion.
but
achievements
I don't know if there's any
specifically.
point in discussing
I
this further.
liked
In
the game
short,
so far,
we are
but
facing an
having all
entity
these
that has
endings tied to the
triumphed
same
over countless
50 lines of
adversaries,
dialogue
both organic
is
and mechanical ones.
not amazing. I mean, if you're gonna have this, like at least could have like a proper save system and not just like bushy checkpoints. Because if you see, there's like no actual like save points. There's like auto saves at the start of each like segment,
I don't.
right?
It's invincible.
Tell them, Yasna. Yeah.
Yeah, I very much agree. Another attack would make no
In this case,
difference.
because we didn't
Just
explain
a
what
few flies are
the
enough for the cloud to regenerate.
What if we
necrophage,
destroy their nest?
No,
what
Rachel,
the
unless we want
like
to
the
destroy the
the
entire
swarm
planet.
is the cloud.
It's impossible to eliminate them all.
He will like
and even then,
go
there's no
on with like
guarantee
the
they would die in
launch,
space.
which is where we're kind
After
of
all,
like
the
knocking
flies
him
need
out,
nowhere,
and that's
water
like
or food,
that
Only
ending.
solar energy.
But what else could we do if not attack?
We can leave this place and never come back.
How so? Your commander will swoop
How
down
so?
from
I
orbit
mean,
and pick us up? You have
wait
an
for the
extra ship up your
invincible.
I was thinking about a saucer or some other vehicle from the Condor.
Don't count on it, Yasna. It's a miracle we arrived on that record.
I mean, there were like so many vehicles down on like the
Let's
bay.
drop it, all right? Further discussion is pointless. The charges are almost ready.
For fuck's sake.
You won't stand down, will you?
Whoa. Yep. I saw this on. Yep. Wow.
You won't answer.
I
me,
saw
sir.
this on Assassin's Creed.
Not anymore.
Fucked.
Did you neutralize it?
Yep.
I put him to sleep. It's cruel, I know. He will forget everything. All over
That's
again.
like a nice implication
Did the
there.
right thing. He wasn't listening to reason.
So how does this path end?
Blown everything up. Most likely along with the both of you.
I'd love to fly away. Go
But we
back
can't.
home.
We can't because on this path the lander blew up. That's kind of how
wouldn't let you
we
do
are
that,
able
sir.
to do these endings because you know
Gotten to know you quite well.
you can't actually
Certainly wouldn't.
like
So,
what's it called deliberate when there
All
is
we
like
can
an
do
option
now
to
is-
leave. Wait. What?
It was truly an honor.
I mean, fuck you too.
I'm having a hard time finding the right words.
I hate moments like
So
this.
wait, what happens here? Like
Nothing
it's
can
like
be
a fade
done.
to black and that's it.
Fixed. Changed. All you can do is say goodbye.
It's right. I feel the same way.
Like the guy does recommend like
Have a safe
loading
journey,
back to like the
Novik.
last save here, but I'm like very curious to see how they end it.
Thank you for your service, Yasna.
Like, does the swarm overtake me? Is it just like a fate to? Yep. A few days later, and
Finally.
oh,
It's them.
oh, I could have gotten the
They're
invincible.
switching
What
through
the?
channels.
Wait, where's
Searching
the?
for
Oh,
me. could slow it down a little.
Alright. Seems nobody's answering here. I'll try another channel.
Hello, Invincible? It's Condor here.
Oh, Condor, we hear you. I confirm. We picked up your coordinates yesterday with a message from a member of the Interplanetary Commonwealth.
Invincible, I confirm. This is Dr. Yasna, the IC member.
Dr. Yasna, nice to meet you. My name is Rohan. Is it your message that we received?
Yes.
In that case, I'd like a confirmation.
Everyone's-
The crew's still unconscious.
Hey, you.
I confirm.
You. What have you done?
Why didn't I like secure the guy? Like, what the actual fuck? Like, I knew he was gonna flip out because he doesn't remember anything when he wakes up.
We anticipate they'll arrive in a few days.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like this ending. I mean, I don't like the
I
know.
realize. We'll come back to that.
Yasna as she's been shown so far. Doesn't seem like the kind of person that wouldn't have taken account for this and, you know, at least like handcuffed him or something, or, you know, trapped him in the pod, or like topped up
Okay,
like the sleepy
He should
juice
be able to hear you now.
so that he doesn't like wake up and, you know, attack me before
Hello,
the Invincible is here.
This is Astrogator Novik, commander of the IC Dragonfly.
Ah, boy.
This is Astrogator Novik, the crew of the USCA Condor cruiser. Please hurry.
Could you stop with all these? Rohitra, engineer Rohitra.
So yeah,
Among
this is
our
like the
crew,
last
the
run
last man
through.
standing, so to speak.
In
which
this
I guess
run,
makes
we're
me
not
commander.
deliberating anything. We're like agreeing with Rohitra to nuke the shit out of the swarm, and then we get fucked over by the swarm because they
Oh,
survive.
enough, Novik. That's
The
enough.
end.
I agree. Officially and
Yeah, it's like
all that jazz. We're
the,
already
the,
taking
the last
steps to
achievement, the
eliminate threat.
Invincible.
So far, however, your crew has not been cooperative. Anyway, we stopped playing defense and took the fight to them. The Cloud suffered
yeah.
significant losses. As
let
a
me-
counterattack, though,
Let me
it
just like
disrupted our
bring up the
communications.
thing
That's
in
why
chat
we
if
need to
anyone
change
wants to
tactics.
access it. I've got it on my phone. So with this, we hit
I strongly disagree.
17 out of 26 games done. That means another 9 left. It's 1954 Alcatraz, Among the Sleep, Botanicula, Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, Event Zero, Observation, Quarantine Circular, Uncertain Volume, and
That's
Zenith.
why I'll keep it simple this time. No
Um,
electro brains, no
got like a
memory,
lot of adventure
only
games here, by the way.
pure energy.
1954 Alcatraz, Botanicula, Event Zero, Observation, Quarantine Circular, Uncertain, all
I'm arming the
adventure
charges.
games. Maybe I should have thought this through, but like
Hydrogen.
sadly,
What?
sadly,
Rachel,
adventure games
are
are
you
in like
serious?
that sweet
Damn
spot
I
of
won't leave all
under
this unresolved.
25 hours that I also haven't played before of like my criteria,
Megatons.
because like I'm like much more likely to finish an adventure game
Over the top.
if I
We really
start
do
it,
have enough
because you know
power.
it's like a narrative path of like A to B. There's not a lot of optional shit to do, and even then those are usually just like interactions where you kind of like fuck around
Preparing 8 small
outside of the main story.
to start
It's not like the Invincible that has like branching paths and stuff, right? So like for like a lot of those, it's just gonna be more or less kind of like following a guide for like the missable stuff and then trying to figure out the puzzles myself.
How has it turned out for you so far?
I'm honestly like kind of like worried that that's also going to be where I start taking losses on time, because
and my people.
while I eventually suss things out, I usually take a lot longer, especially when I'm streaming and not
like me.
paying
Do anything for your
attention
crew.
Not only do I
to
understand you, I feel the same desire.
what the game is kind of like putting out for me.
Revenge is out of the question.
And yeah, 9 games to go,
Why?
and I still have
We
like
are
a
dealing with
full
creations of necro evolution, dead evolution.
5 months. It's like August,
non-sentient
September,
ones.
October, November, December.
Taking
Yeah, it's like
revenge
5
on the
months for
cloud is
like
like-
9 games. It's like 2 games a month should be enough. right?
Exactly.
So I can like do maybe like a couple
Like
of streams a week.
Xerxes. While we
I should
express
be
our
there like
suffering, rage, and
just in time.
frustration, we won't accomplish much.
or I
We
don't know,
won't
maybe
harm
like even
it.
ahead of schedule. I
We
hope.
won't instill fear in it.
I
We
don't
won't
know.
Make it surrender.
I'm going to destroy it.
But yeah, I'm not exactly
Not
sure
scare
which
it,
one's gonna be
not hurt
next.
it.
I think I should start doing one of the strategy games. Really, sorry, one of the like adventure games. Sorry, because you know
Good one. Are you
I don't want to
forgetting
like
how many
have
of
them
us
all
they've
for
already
last and then kind of like getting burned out on adventure games. Because I think adventure games are also probably like the toughest ones to stream for me, because one half of me wants to pay attention to what's being said on screen.
Absolute nonsense.
The other half of me wants to kind of like, chat
Sentient or
and
not,
make some
they are the
like
enemies of
discussion
all
and make it
protein
not be
life.
like a static
Ergo,
playthrough.
our enemies.
But
Please
yeah, like
remember what we've
like the other
learned.
half,
Before the
like both
machines
halves are
came to
kind of like
read us
competing
three,
there,
this planet
unfortunately.
was teeming with life.
I've noticed, like, especially with
Before the
adventure
cloud
games
wiped
and
out
sometimes
all its
JRPGs,
competition.
I tend to interrupt myself a whole lot more than with, like these more kind of like
Both living organisms and mechanical creators of the cloud, as well as other products of
I don't want to
dead
say
evolution.
non-interactive because they
The
are
list is
interactive,
quite
but
long.
Hang on.
like in these games, especially now
Yes.
that I'm like replaying the same segments
Millions
over
of
and over
years
for
ago,
achievements.
someone must have built primordial mechanisms.
Oh, I'm so
Machines
sleepy,
could
by
have
the way.
self-built in successive generations.
But yeah, especially in these games, I
Something
don't
must have created
like
them
often
first.
I don't
get
buy
like
it.
a lot of
It's like
interruptions
some
because like
robot
the first time you've seen something, it demands like more attention. The second, third, fourth, fifth time that I've seen like this dialogue,
How
I
did these
kind of
machines even
know
get
where it goes without having to pay attention to.
Probably
you
some
know.
alien race, highly evolved. It all adds up if we assume they crashed on Regis 3. But not even a single living organism survived the accident. Only
Yawn.
machines were left.
They started bashing in each other's tin heads? Doesn't
Yep.
make much sense to me. Machines don't have emotions. They don't.
Yeah, there's no point. Whatever.
Argue.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry, but I don't know if there's any point in discussing this further. In short, we are facing an entity that has triumphed over countless adversaries.
So
both
basically now we
organic
get to
and
let him
mechanical ones.
nuke. And then we get fucked over, and then we get all the achievements, and then we win. Yay. Oh,
How
sorry.
else do you imagine
But like, it's kind of like funny when you when I like describe it like that.
Well,
No. There's a
This is
chance
gonna
of
work.
success.
The attack must be all out.
What are you saying, Doctor?
After a sufficiently powerful
Doctor,
explosion,
what are you saying,
the ocean
Doctor?
waters will
It
begin to
reminds me of
vaporize. Cloud
Doctor
cover will
Who,
increase.
basically.
The albedo will rise,
Doctor.
and the resident
uh,
symbionts won't be able to
What was
provide
it, like
the minimum
the-
energy needed for reproduction.
The Daleks
So
or like
yes,
the Autons or like
we
whatever.
can destroy the cloud,
ha! I knew it.
along with ourselves.
Oh.
Oh. I don't think we can defeat them and survive.
Technically, we'd have to wipe out the entire planet. That's not our goal here, is it?
No, it's not. So, you think there's no point trying with smaller charges?
Okay, this is where we say it wouldn't hurt to try.
I guess it won't hurt to try, with a few small missiles.
Shut up, I'm getting the achievements, fuck you.
It's not really a big risk, sir.
We will just die. No worries.
You're the one there, not me. Maybe I'm not seeing the whole picture.
So basically whatever happens, Novik is like the big winner and just like fucks off alive. And everyone else just like dies. Love it.
See these switches? The ones on the launch control unit?
Yeah, I see. Do I use them to launch the rockets?
I love the
Not yet.
music here, by the way. It's
There's a button for
like
that.
really tense music. Off we go. Just signed our death warrant.
Watch your eyes.
God, I love this track, by the way. It kind of reminds me of like the 22-minute song in Outer Wilds.
I can already see them melting. Take that, fucks.
But it's like a lot more dire, or like a lot more grim, I guess, than Outer Wilds. Like, cause like 22 minutes in Outer Wilds has like this like hopeful note.
Hitra, they're flying this way.
What
This
have you done?
is like a more grim version, like like
Astrogator, you must
we know
evacuate.
we fucked up.
Now.
I'll die.
I'll join you later.
Nope, I won't. Oh boy, this is amazing. Are you just like gonna stand there? This is like a very cool effect.
Legs become too heavy.
Are they gonna start smashing into the... Yep. Oh boy. Well, fuck you. Very horror-ish. Yep. The end. And with that, we get all the achievements. Woo! The end. You're gonna hear like one more bling. That's the add-on telling me I've gotten like 100%. Yay, 29 out of 29. And that's the Invincible. I hope you enjoyed. I think it's like about time to do the usual like spreadsheet upkeep. But yeah, such a nice game. I liked it so much. Like I really wish like all games I had on my list were like this pleasant, this fun to play. But yeah, 29 out of 29. We've officially won at the Invincible, I guess. I'm gonna sync my profile on Completionist, see what like the final game time says is at the moment. It's synchronizing. Let's see, 10 hours and 25 minutes, which I mean, not too shabby, really. The estimate I think is like at 13, right? Let's see. God, like I've got like busy. Let's see. 10:25. So this goes here. Yeah, 3.5 hours earlier, done in 3 streams. Well, actually, no, it's like 4 streams. My bad. Just like 1 stream under, I guess. So, how do I rate this? Perceived difficulty. And note that I do say perceived because it's like clearly a me thing. I think it was like a 3 out of 10. Honestly, like even with like without the guide, it's like really clear where like the paths kind of like diverge. So I don't think it would have been like that much harder to figure out otherwise. Now, as fun goes, I really fucking enjoyed this. There's my hand. Hello. I love the aesthetics. It reminded me very much of like the Alien movies, the first couple of Alien movies, where like the sci-fi's got like a very 60s, maybe 70s-ish vibe to it. And then like the voice acting being like really, really good on most parts, except for like the pronunciation of a couple of words. And Yasna being like such a like competent character. you don't often get like the whole thing that they usually do, where you just like character falls and breaks something, and then you kind of like have to drag yourself through for like the added tension. Environmental design was fucking amazing. So yeah, this doesn't get a 10 just for the fact that you have to replay so many parts of it over and over again to see all the endings. That's like literally the only problem I had with the game. Otherwise, it would have been like a fucking 10 out of 10. I would have even like marked it as like yellow, like goldy-ish here. But yeah, only the second 9 out of 10 that I've put on my list. The other being Killer Frequency, and like a couple of 8s, like Clock Tower, Firewatch, and Stacking. There's like a 7 with Yooka-Laylee, and then like everything else was kind of Not a lot of like difficult ones though. Like maybe Necromunda gave me some trouble, and Yooka-Laylee maybe as well. But all the other ones were like pretty decent-ish. So for next time, I don't really know what I'm gonna be doing next time. I've got like 7 choices, like 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh wait, 10. What? Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's like 17 out of 27. Never mind. So it's like I was thinking 26, and then I remembered I still have like the number 1 as well. So yeah, 10 games to go in like 5 months. It's like, yeah, again, 2 games a month should be fine. Some short-ish ones. A lot of them are kind of like longer, but still like a couple of streams a week should get me through. I'm not actually sure. Like I said, there's like Alcatraz, Event Zero, Observation, Quarantine Circular, Uncertain. There's like 5 different adventure games that I need to kind of like sit through. And I don't know. Dishonored is kind of like an immersive sim, stealth game. Volume, I've heard, is like a stealth game, so those are fine. Zenith is like a RPG for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure how. I think it might be like a hack and slash RPG actually, so that's gonna be fun. I've never streamed one of those, except some Path of Exile, which didn't really go anywhere. But yeah, I really don't know. And there's also the fact that I still need to decide what game starting with I need to do off stream, because I am kind of keeping up with that as well. Did I remember to leave the theme on? Yeah, no. So I have to do it, because I is smart. Yes. So for off stream, this is just like, fun thing to kind of like mention. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. Start by here. I Am Bread. This was made by Studio Bossa, which are the people that also made Surgeon Sim. So this is like an automatic nope for me. I know it's like more absurdist take on the whole, physics shit that Surgeon Sim kind of pulled, and I really don't want to do that. Ibenob, I think, might be one. I'm not exactly sure if it's doable single. I'm under like the impression that this requires co-op to do, so I don't really know yet. There's like Ikaruga. There's no fucking way in hell that I'm gonna manage to do this. I'm not that good at shmups, unfortunately. I'm finished with Incredipe. These are super long games that I don't really want to get into. I've done this. I've done this. This one I might do. I think it's a kind of like RPG. Not sure though. In between is like a horror adventure game. I don't know. I don't like the side-scrolling horror games, to be honest. Infinifactory takes quite a bit of time to finish, so that's like also out of the question. These 4 don't really have achievements, so the raid out. I'm not sure like how long Intravenous is, to be honest. I might try this one, Inculinati. It's made by the same people that made the 4 Last Things game, and I quite enjoyed the Python-esque humor that game had. Isle of Jura might be another one, because that's kind of like a bit like short-ish, kind of. I've also heard good things about Itora, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, like I've got like a few options. Yeah, it's not like the most options, but it's like a hell of a lot better than say Y or Z. Those are gonna be like a pain in the ass to kind of figure out. But yeah. So I think that's it for today. It's been like a bit under 2 hours, and I'm sorry for that, because like I said, I was planning on doing this morning, but you know, the little roaches thought they would have fun in my house. Fuck those things. So yeah, I think that's it for me for today. Let's see, like I'm ending it earlier. Is there someone live? GDQ and ESA, you've got like options. See, GDQ is currently live, I think, so that's like maybe somewhere like people here would love to like go and watch. As for me, I'm gonna go get some rest, honestly, some like much needed rest, and I'll see you within the week with God, I don't know. I'll decide when the time comes. The thing is, I've got like every single one of those installed. So here's Among the Sleep, Dishonored of the Outsider, Volume, Zenith, 1954 Alcatraz, Botanicula, Event Zero. I actually sat down and installed all my remaining games today, just to like have them ready just in case. So it only ever realistically needs like a 5-minute setup time to be ready for the stream now. So yeah. But anyway, gonna go get some sleep, and I'll see you around soon. Bye bye.